Good evening. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhavdas G. Now, the Modi government has moved to launch a crackdown on tainted leaders. The government today tabled 3 bills with provisions to remove the Prime Minister, Union Ministers, Chief Ministers or Ministers of States or Union Territories if they are arrested or kept in custody for serious criminal charges for 30 consecutive days. All the 3 bills have been referred to the Joint Committee amidst a massive uproar from the opposition. Opposition has accused Centre of being hell-bent upon creating a police state through these bills.
Tomorrow you can put any kind of case on a chief minister and put him in jail for have him arrested for 30 days without even him being convicted, and then he ceases to be chief minister. So I think that it's absolutely wrong. It's anti our constitution. It's against our constitution.
This is only a diversionary tactics. This is a draconian law. This is not going to pass. This parliament is not going to pass this bill at all.
जब तानाशाह लोग घबराते हैं लोकतंत्र में, दुनिया के तानाशाहों को पता कर लो आप, उन्होंने अपनी कुर्सी, अपना रुतबा बचाने के लिए इस तरह के फैसले लिए.
The focal point of the bill is draconian. It's intended to disrupt the opposition-led governments in this country.
This government is hell-bent on creating a police state. This will be a death knell and leash an elected government, sir. Indian constitution is being amended to turn this country into a police state.
However, there was massive chaos witnessed inside the Lok Sabha as Home Minister Amit Shah tabled the 3 bills in the House. Opposition MPs tore papers and threw bills towards the Home Minister. There were also allegations from both the ruling side and the opposition side that some of the MPs were pushed and mistreated amidst the ruckus in the lower house. Now, opposition has come out to defend its hurling of paper bits towards Shah, saying that it shows that democracy was alive.
Well, that is because to show that democracy is alive. That is the spirit. People will fight. We've done this. We fought for our freedom and got it. We fought for our constitution and got it. And we will fight to conserve and preserve.
और दूसरा तो उसमें क्या है? हम पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा वो कुछ नहीं बात है.
Times Now access details of what really happened. Here's what sources have told Times Now. Now, the disruption was on while the Home Minister Amit Shah was speaking inside the House. Now, sources are also telling us that opposition MPs then tore copies of the bill and entered the well of the House. They tore these bits towards Home Minister Amit Shah, and it was Kalyan Banerjee of the TMC who first sparked the uproar. Later, we saw other members of Parliament, including KC Venugopal, tore paper bits and throwing it. Congress MPs followed suit after the TMC MPs had raised protest, and there were several MPs who further rushed to defend Home Minister Amit Shah. The ruling side MPs tried to stop the opposition MPs from aggressively approaching the Home Minister, and that's where there is some kind of a ruckus that is believed to have happened. Let's listen to some of the reactions coming in from the ruling side now.
देश देख रहा, ये स्पीकर साहब को कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए. जिस तरीके से गृह मंत्री के मतलब टेबल पे आ गए और जिस तरीके का मतलब वहाँ इस तरह से अगर भाजपा के सदस्य निश्चित तौर से नहीं खड़े हो जाते तो शायद कोई अप्रिय घटना भी आज हो जाती. जो
सरासर झूठ बोल रहे हैं विपक्ष के लोग. बिल फाड़ा है और बहुत एग्रेसिव होकर माननीय गृह मंत्री जी की तरफ आए हैं. ये पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी में अच्छी बात नहीं है और इसको देश की जनता ने देखा है.
विपक्ष के सांसद जो अपनी कुर्सियों पर खड़े होकर विरोध कर सकते थे, वो अपनी सीटों से भी निकल कर आगे आए, लेकिन वो सत्ता पक्ष की बेंचेस की ओर आकर और विशेष तौर पर गृह मंत्री जी के सामने आकर पहले हल्ला किया, पेपर के टुकड़े किए और पेपर के टुकड़े देश के गृह मंत्री जी पर फेंके.
There's a reaction coming in from LOP Rahul Gandhi. He says that the 3 bills show that we're going back to medieval times. Listen in.
We're going back to medieval times when the king could just remove anybody at will. There's no concept of what an elected person is. He doesn't like your face, so he tells ED, put a case, and then democratically elected person is wiped out within 30 days.
All right, we have our reporters Pragya as well as Niyamika joining us. In fact, Niyamika, this is the first reaction of Rahul Gandhi coming in. He says that we are going back to medieval times. But the question also is that the government is raising questions on behavior of certain opposition members of parliament, because they are saying that there was completely unruly behavior and then They came out to, blame ministers, the treasury benches for what happened inside the House. How is the opposition going to take this forward?
Well, Congress party specifically is, targeting repeatedly the government of India for these three bills, as it is not just Rahul Gandhi, but Mallikarjun Kharge, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, KC Venugopal. All of these leaders have come out in open and they are opposing these three bills which have been introduced by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah today in Lok Sabha. As we have listened to the voices coming in from the Congress party, as they are saying that this shows the fascist mindset of the government of India. Repeatedly they are saying that it is basically a continuous misuse of the institutions which is being done by the government of India, whether it is ED, CBI or the income tax department, and that is what they are going to do in the upcoming days, as well as they can remove any of the elected chief minister by imposing a false case upon him. And for that reason these bills have been introduced in Lok Sabha. For that reason they have stated that it is basically an undemocratic move which is being taken by
Stay with us, Niyamika. In fact, let me quickly get in Pragya also. Pragya, there's some breaking inputs that you're giving us. Sources telling us that CCTV footage was seen. There's no evidence of manhandling of women MPs as alleged by Kalyan Banerjee, but the TMC MP has remained defiant, challenges the government to release the full CCTV video. Pragya, this is very significant because, all right, let's listen to what has been stated by Kalyan Banerjee.
That CCTV footage of the treasury been shown to us. Only the one portion has been shown, one portion has not been shown. Mitali Bag and Shatabdi Rai was pushed by the Bittu and the Kiran Raju.
So government, you are saying the
government is speaking lie. Government is speaking lie. They wanted to.
All right, Pragya, so Kalyan Banerjee, despite the clarification coming in from government sources and the reactions coming in from the Treasury bench side, says that the government is lying. It's ministers who pushed opposition MPs is the charge. Pragya.
Well, Madhav, it is, the opposition MPs in TMC especially that went to the Treasury benches and in fact who were the one creating ruckus and also throwing the papers over the ministers as well. However, having said that, the government also said that they have watched the CCTV, the security footage is still there, and they said that at least there was a 3-meter distance between the opposition MPs and union minister like Ravinder Singh Bittu and also Mr. Kiran Rijiju. So there is no chance that there could be manhandling or even touching of each other. And they also say that, the kind of the behavior that they had seen of the opposition MPs, despite the fact that they have been so unruly in the parliament, the speaker has till now decided not to take action against them because it is for the people to watch what they are doing and what they are engaging in while discussing such an important bill.
All right. Thanks so much, Niyamika and Pragya, for joining us. Let's take this across to our guest now. Siddharth Yadav is with us, national spokesperson of BJP. Shekharaya, senior journalist, joins us. We have AD Singh, who's the RJD MP of Rajya Sabha, joining us. We have Akashdeep Muni, political analyst, with us. Professor Manojit Mandal, political analyst, also with us. Let me come across to you first, Mr. AD Singh. The question that many are asking at this point of time is that while certainly every member of parliament, every citizen has every right to protest, whether inside or outside the house, the question is whether, this kind of protest where, bills are thrown at the Home Minister, whether this is really acceptable behavior inside the House. Mr. AD Singh.
No, I just want to say, I do not know how to comment on this, but the point is that if the present government wants to take us to the medieval era of the age, then we have to think, we have to see what used to happen in the medieval era in India or in the world. So it is this allegation that the opposition has misbehaved or has not acted properly. It is all a farce in the sense that if you don't give us time, if you don't have a discussion on the bill, and what does the government want to do? Do they want to amend Articles 75, Article 164, Article 239 AA? I do not know where our country is going. And I hope the Western press covers this event of the three.
So why are you so keen on Western press, not Indian press? Here, Indian media, we are discussing this issue. What is this fascination with Western press?
No, the world should know now that on one side we
it's not enough if Indians know.
No. In one side we say that we are Wish Guru, we are our democracy from the days of the Lichvis.
So no, you don't believe the Indian media. You don't believe the Indian media where you are currently participating in a debate.
I would not like to comment on that. But because you had asked me to speak, so I'm willing to speak.
No, you're not fighting elections in America, right, sir? You're going to fight elections in India. You will have to go to people of India. So I'm just curious why you would even make such a comment.
I can assure you that in the present day, the kind of response we are getting in Bihar, it is unprecedented. People are getting to know about the vote chori.
So the people of Bihar, are they going to read the Western press or are they going to read the Indian media? I don't know. But anyway, the charge that you're making, let me bring in the BJP. Let me bring in the BJP, the other panelists also. Siddharth Yadav, this is a charge that is coming in from the opposition that you're taking us back to the medieval times. The RJD member of parliament on our panel, Rahul Gandhi, all saying this is going to go back to the days of the king, where the king dictates what is to happen, and that is exactly what those who are subordinate to him will carry out. Your response to that?
No, Madhav, I think had this been thought, and the situation that India faces today with the opposition's morality going down the drain, had it been thought while the constitution would have been framed, I'm sure the constitution framers would have added this while our constitution was being prepared. Nobody would have ever thought that if elected members, chief ministers, prime minister, cabinet ministers, if they would be accused, if they are facing jail time, if they don't get bail from the courts, they would not have the morality to resign. But lately we have seen these situations come out. We have seen that how netas want to eat the malai. They don't want to let go of their houses, their salaries, the luxuries, and they want the governance to go down the drain. This is the reality. People are the parties, political leaders are not elected to sit on seats and then go to jails and put the governance aside. People are elected to give governance, deliver good governance, work for the people. How can somebody work if they are in jail? This is point number one. I'm talking specifically on the merits of the matter and not any rhetoric that I think my fellow panelists would want to resort to. Point number two, if the officers, government servants have this same rule that if they face jail time, then they are deemed suspension. The 1965 Act says so. Why can't this be applied to politicians?
Because there can be malicious prosecution. There can be malicious prosecution on politicians for political purposes, and that's the charge. We have seen how Supreme Court has also come down quite heavily on various agencies in the past. Let me get in Professor Mandal now. Professor Mandal,
if you will just allow me 10 seconds, I'll go back to that. The agencies can only make a case where whether the case stands or not, whether you are going to be in the jail or not, whether the charge sheet is applicable or not, is for the courts to decide. If the offense is less than 5 years, then why do
you'll get arrested by the prosecuting agency.
Is going to be corrupt and they're going to be
Sir, any prosecuting agency can arrest you, but let me bring in Manojit Mandal. Manojit Mandal, there are safeguards. The arrest which happens also happens through a procedure of the court, and therefore there are enough safeguards. If it is there for officials, why should it not be there for politicians and senior political leaders? Your response to the BJP spokesperson?
BJP, how they would have defended Mr. Amit Shah, who was in jail for 60 days. Did he resign at that point of time? Answer is clear, no. You are talking about the morality of politics?
Yes, he did.
He actually did. Professor Mandal, he has just tweeted that he did, by the way.
Hang on.
He did. He resigned before he was sent to jail.
He
never had any...
Hang on. You have taken the tainted leaders by your own estimation, starting from Ajit Pawar to Shubhendu Adhikari to Hemanta Biswa Sarma. You have given them plum posts and you are talking about morality and politics. Shame on you for saying this. Right? And this is, I'm laughing because this is something that BJP cannot even handle. Look at the number of tainted leaders they have taken and they have given same post. Starting from Bengal, Maharashtra, Assam, Idhirappa was in jail, Chautala, they were in jail. They have made a government with their grandson in Haryana. What are you talking about? And this is something that you are assuming the powers of the court. How can you do that? How can you assume the powers of the court? You are dismantling the independence of judiciary. However little that we have, this is nothing but a remarkable crackdown on the constitution and trampling upon the rights of the people. All right-thinking citizens in this country.
Shekhar Iyer.
The BJP, I repeat.
Shekhar Iyer, I want you to come in on this. It's a trampling of the constitution and on the people of the country. It is an overreach, is what the opposition has been saying. We are going back to medieval times. This is the charge of Rahul Gandhi as well.
No, but it is the same Rahul Gandhi in 2013 tore up an ordinance which the Manmohan Singh government had brought to overcome a Supreme Court verdict which said that any member of parliament or state assembly, if he is convicted of 2 years of any case, then he should immediately give up that seat. And Rahul Gandhi was so upset with his own government that they were bringing something to protect. Now, in this particular case, the whole argument of the opposition is, till final conviction, why should they give up their seat? Why should they give up their post? See, both in the case of Arvind Kejriwal, Senthil Balaji, Manish Sisodia, as well as Hemant Soren, this matter came up before the High Court as well as before the Supreme Court, where the petitioners sought that they should resign, till they are, they cannot be functioning from the jail. And Arvind Kejriwal insisted, and for 6 months, he was chief minister from jail. Similarly, Hemant Soren also resisted this. So therefore the whole idea is, Supreme Court, said they cannot enforce morality on this issue. It is for those politicians to decide when they have been arrested and they have been denied whether they should stay in office or not.
Right.
Now, this particular legislation is only to look at that aspect. When there is no law, obviously their moral compulsion is no longer working on the ground that everything against them is a political vendetta.
Okay. Let me get in Akashdeep Muni on that. Akashdeep Muni, Rahul Gandhi famously tore that ordinance in the Press Club of India, when his own government was bringing the law, says Shekhar Iyer. Where is that moral yardstick now? Has that been forgotten?
Madhavji, this law is totally different. India's existing law removes elected representatives only after conviction under Section 8 Representation of People's Act 1951. And the Supreme Court Lily Thomas judgment of 2013 ruling says clearly that after conviction only you can remove it. But interesting, this new Constitution 30th Amendment Bill would remove a chief minister who spends 30 consecutive days in custody before trial, before conviction, combined with stringent, slow-moving money laundering investigation. Example, PMLA. Section 45, you remember, where bail is difficult and parallel CBI corruption cases slapped. You remember PMLA Section 45 twin condition, where the onus to prove guilt is on the accused, not on accuser, resulting in keeping accused in custody for months. CBI corruption cases typically invoke Criminal Conspiracy and Prevention of Corruption Act. Again,
but I will ask one question of Siddharth Yadav, though. Siddharth Yadav, the fact is that, at least one of the ministers, in the case of Satyendra Jain, if I'm not mistaken, one of the cases, the closure report has been filed by the prosecuting agency. And if you're going to the court saying that there are multiple cases against the individual, there will be some merit in the argument that the agencies, while they may have probed for reasons best known to them, that this provision can be misused.
Madhav, this provision has nothing to do with investigation. This provision has nothing to do with conviction. This provision, this new law has nothing to do with what happens in a case. It is something very else. It is about the morality a leader should have. And I will, on the very specific case of Satyendra Jain that you speak, can we have an India, or can we imagine an India wherein a jail minister of the National Capital of Territory was a jail minister while he was in jail? Are we that country today, or should we be that country? A health minister is in jail for 8 months. A jail minister is in jail, is getting massaged by a rapist. Should we continue like that? You bring this law, you don't bring this law. Whatever convictions have to happen will happen by the systems that we have, by the courts, by the probing agencies. This is about something very else. A minister in Tamil Nadu is convicted and sent to jail, but the chief minister would not remove him from his position because of his politics. When we lose morality,
there are issues of morality at hand, says the BJP. The opposition says it's overreach. How will this play out in Parliament remains to be seen, because for the moment it has been sent to a joint parliamentary committee. What will happen there remains to be seen. Siddharth Yadav, Shekhar Iyer, A.D. Singh, Akashdeep Muni and Professor Monajit Bandal, thanks so much for joining us this evening.